It's no secret that the 90s sitcom Friends left a lasting impact on popular culture. Even decades after its premiere, people are still quoting lines and jokes from the show.
We were on a break!
Okay, you have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance.
And millions of people still continue to watch these beloved characters on Netflix and HBO Max. So of course, there was a lot of hype around the reunion special back in 2022. I wanted to watch it to get in on the hype, but I hadn't watched the show yet, so I decided to watch it on HBO Max. I was surprised by how witty some of the jokes were and how relatable some of the characters were, and before I knew it, I watched all 10 seasons within a month. Even though the show declined in my opinion by the 8th season, I was still hooked in because of how David Crane and Martha Kaufman really knew how to make it seem like your friends can be your found family. Especially when they hang out every day at the coffee shop and gain support from each other whenever they complain about their unsupportive and often critical parents. I got so consumed by this show that I thought since I hung out with the same acquaintances every weekday at school, at the same lunch table cracking jokes, and just, being with them as they're talking and going on about their family lives from time to time, that meant that we were this tight-knit friend group that was always like found family like the characters on Friends. However, by the time I graduated with them, I realized that I was nowhere near as close to them as I thought. And we all found that we were all going to be busy over the summer and we wouldn't have much time to hang out with each other as much as we thought, because we'll all be busy with final trips with family, camps, or summer jobs. So how is it that TV is so influential in how we view friendships or the reality of them? Well, I think I figured it out. When you watch any episode of Friends, you rarely see any of the main characters actually being at their 9-to-5 jobs. Instead, most of the time they're at the coffee shop updating each other on their lives instead of going to work.
I thought last night was great.
Yeah, it was, but I get home, okay, and I see Julie's saline solution on my night table, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? I mean, here I am, I'm with Julie, this incredible, great woman who I care about and who cares about me, and I'm like, what, am I just gonna throw all that away?
You got all that from saline solution?
There's even an episode where instead of leaving for work in the morning, Monica, Chandler, Joey, and Phoebe all decide to stay in Monica's bedroom to eavesdrop on Ross and Rachel when they're arguing about their romantic relationship, which is completely unrealistic to real life, where you're obligated to a 9-to-5 job regardless of your friend drama. You have to be at your 9-to-5 job if you want to get paid, and also because it's what you signed up for when you took up the job. If the Friends characters constantly neglected their jobs just to socialize with their friends 24/7, or to listen in to their friend drama all the time, in real life, they would be fired by now. Crane and Kaufman know they're portraying this unrealistic reality for people to watch, but I believe this is on purpose. They need their sitcom to hook people in if they want to gain mainstream success, so they establish this foreign concept where people at any time can choose not to be at work to hang out with their friends, or listen in to their romantic drama. By presenting this foreign concept, people who wish they could do this in reality are going to get intrigued. And since they create this intriguing narrative around friends having time for each other even with their demanding jobs, people will keep watching through episode after episode and end up being immersed in that narrative. Especially when the episodes are each 22 minutes, so watching 3 alone is already an hour they spend immersing themselves in that narrative. Eventually they'll become so immersed in that fictional narrative that they'll set all these high expectations of what the reality should be like, because that fictional narrative is everything they could possibly ever imagine to make their life more enjoyable instead of stressful. So when they return to their work life, they're hit with this hard reality that they can't meet up and catch up with their friends at a coffee place by updating them on their romantic relationships or their family troubles, and from there develop a close, intimate bond anytime that they want. Instead, they are met with having to put in more effort than they thought to maintain the connection in the midst of having to work through constant scheduling, because everyone has this different work schedule. I think sitcoms like Friends have created unrealistic expectations in our heads about the reality of friendships. But maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that TV chose to lie to us instead of depicting our real lives. Because if it didn't, we wouldn't have the entertainment we need to distract us from the dullness of reality.